Everyone, this is DizExplorer03 here, and happy holidays. Today I am filming a very special tips and tricks video on how you can become a toy box artist and hopefully a toy box master artist in the future. So, anyways, today's Christmas Eve, so I wanted to get a little festive, so I wore my colorful hat. It's kind of hard to see because with the lights, but it works. But before I get to my tips and tricks today, I have a very important shout out to two people who I want to bring up. I want to say congratulations to Panda Alsatian and Haslam Wii U for becoming a part of the Toy Box Artist Group. They placed in the Parade Challenge for Haslam Wii U, and for Panda Alsatian placed in the Holiday Challenge for Arendelle Parade and Elf Wanted. Those two toy boxes. So for Haslam Wii U and Panda Alsatian, if you guys are watching, I personally congratulate you and welcome you aboard the Toy Box Artist Group. Okay, so first tip of the day. My first tip to today is to save toy boxes that you like pretty much completed or abandoned. It sounds weird. I know it pretty much sounds weird, but you may never know if you're gonna use it for a challenge. Like you never know, because like pretty much like the challenges for toy boxes, they could be either pretty random or there like be a specific reason there is a challenge. Like for example, the next challenge after the Speedway is Star Wars: The Force Awakens, which is a pretty good reason because the film's in theaters, and also the playset, which is out right now. So if you guys haven't gotten the playset, or if you guys haven't seen the movie, you best check it out so you can have a chance to enter for that challenge. Or there'll be some like pretty like random ones like let's see, what's a pretty random one? I don't know, one could be like themed around like a certain character. Like after the Star Wars Force Awakens is Mulan, which is although it's kind of random, but it's also a pretty good reason because we have the Mulan artist, but also more importantly, we finally have a Mulan character. So you never know if a toy box that you have or like been working on for a certain challenge but abandoned could work for a certain challenge in the future. So you never know. And in 3.0, you could save um, like 300 toy boxes. So you definitely have lots of room to save for another a future challenge. So it's pretty useful and saves you much time. All right, next tip, and it's a pretty big one. My second tip of the day is when it comes to toy box challenges, always be a good sport. Always be pretty. That's a pretty big one. Always be a good sport. Because as a toy box master artist, Pirate Steven once said, he said to me, toy box art like pretty much making a toy box in a toy box competition is a competitive sport. It really is competitive because everyone wants a chance to be featured. Pretty much everyone, like anyone that wants to like be featured just once. I mean, trust me, I was probably you guys with the everyone starts off as an underdog, but then once they figure out like the whole logic and how to make their own toy boxes, how to create their unique style, then then they can get featured. They want make them stand out. But if you don't win, there are usually times where you got that you just want to like give up and like be upset and like not appreciate the winning toy boxes all because yours didn't get in. And like trust me, I've been there before, and like I'm trying to get out of there, but that's probably like my New Year's resolution. But anyways, always be a good sport. Be happy for the people that place. Even like especially if it's the ones that if it's from the toy box artists that you do enjoy their work. Like for example, it's from like the toy box artists like for like Sonic Photo or King of the Tunas or Part Steven, Mighty Giants or Daddy 3, Visuri 83. Like if you love like of their work and like you're happy, like you should be happy that they got placed in the toy box and in the toy box challenges, and like not be upset because that you didn't place. It's like, and like I said, I've been there before. Like it's tough. Like it's tough like seeing other people place and not you. Like you just want to get placed once in a while, and it takes time. Trust me, it takes time. Like don't expect to enter a toy box challenge and go and expect to be placed right off the bat. Like you have to have lots of training, like the ways of the toy box. Or sorry, a little Star Wars joke there, but anyway, it takes time. Like you need to learn a whole bunch about the toy box, um, and then try to, like I said in the first toy box tips and tricks episode I did. It's like you gotta think outside the toy box. You gotta think of like new ideas, or like take an original or take a content that's like already been done, but make it new again. Like make it fresh and new. But anyways, back to sportsmanship. It's like always be happy, always congratulate the winners. Like, always congratulate them because if you're happy, then you're happy. It'll make yourself feel better because it shows that you love their work and you're being um um pretty much like you love their work and you love to see and you're happy to see that they won. So yeah, actually, I want to bring up this one moment. It was during the Toy Box Summit. It's kind of a personal story, but I want to feel that I should bring this up, especially since it's a special episode. So I wanted to bring up that it was like for the Toy Box building competition. Where we all got into teams. We all had to build a Star Wars planet that were randomly drawn. And as you guys might probably known back then, I was on Team TIE Force, named after our mentor, and we were tasked on building Tatooine, which is my favorite planet in Star Wars. But even though it turned out great, and like there was like a big prize on the line, which is pretty much being immortalized as a townsperson for Disney Infinity due to the community votes. So like the whole community votes on which toy box is the best, and the winner was Team Han Shot First. And for me it was like hard to accept that because I know there was a bunch of people that I know that really enjoyed the Tatooine toy box. That even though it did have a few bugs, but they still really enjoyed it. But personally, like I was both kind of disappointed, but also very happy because out of the toy boxes, that one was that Death Star toy box was my personal favorite out of the playthroughs. It was a lot of fun, and there's like so many possibilities you could do with the Death Star, and it turned out really well, especially the ending. It was very creative and very hilarious, especially with the whole Greedo bit in the end. That was really funny. So yeah, I was very happy that they won. Very happy, and who knows? Maybe next time if I go to the Toy Box Summit, I'll be able to try again. Hopefully, and get become a townsperson someday for the next game. So who knows? Not you just gotta keep trying. Always have a good attitude, and always be a good sport. Always be happy with the people who won, cause it'll make yourself happy. It'll make yourself feel better in the end. And speaking of artists, that brings up to our final tip of the day, and that is, and it's a big one. That is play the art the Toy Box Master Artist toy boxes. Pretty much play pretty much play their toy boxes. Get some ideas and like why they got placed in the top five. Like why like what made theirs stand out beyond like everyone else? Like what did they do to think outside the toy box? Whether like they used like it was like very cinematic or they were like very detailed and precise, or is it like really fun gameplay and that made it really competitive? But pretty much like play each of their toy boxes to get ideas of like what made them place in the top five and how you can improve. So, because not only are we toy box master artists, but we're also role models, like as Pirate Steven once told me. We're role models, so we're supposed to help you guys. We're supposed to help other players who wants to become toy box master artists in the future. and like hopefully going to the Toy Box Summit next time. Because I know pretty much a lot of people want to come and they want to compete and play the games early and stuff like that, but also make new friends. It really is a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that next year I could see some new Toy Box artists in the next summit. Because like, it would be really cool if we like help those people uh, who um, who didn't start off well, but then thanks to us, we would help them get off their feet, and get up on their feet, and think outside the toy box. Think of whole brand new, inventive new gameplay, and eventually get them invited back into the toy box summit, which hopefully it's really lots of fun, and hopefully I could be there next year if I get enough featured toy boxes. So yeah, so definitely play through the Toy Box Master Artist toy boxes, whether they be from Pirate Steven or Daddy 3, CC Runner 524, F Daniel X, Model Train Man, or even myself. And there's a whole bunch of us. So there's like a whole bunch of us. So you just pick on some, like play through some of our toy boxes, get some ideas, but also like throw in like some elements, like throw in like your style. Throw in like your style of what you like and throw it in there. And, like what makes you you? Like what makes you like individual, like stand out? Like for example, the like if I were to think right off the bat, like Pirate Steven, he's like really good with block art, or Daddy 3 with the like very precise detail and really great logic, or Sumerian with he's like really good with creativity toys. Like he knows a lot about them. And or like myself, I'm like, I don't know. Personally, I find myself like funny. Like if I were to think about what makes DizExplorer03 DizExplorer03, I would say probably I have like a knack of like creating Disneyland themed toy boxes, or like any like Disney parks toy box. I know it sounds weird how like one's with logic, one's with detail, the other one's block art, but like me with Disneyland or Disney parks themed toy box. And also I pretty much have a knack for creating Mickey Mouse themed toy boxes, especially since Mickey is my favorite character, whether it be classic Mickey from 3.0 or Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey from 1.0. So, like, I don't know, feels pretty weird, but I accept that. Especially since, like, I looked through all, like, my featured toy boxes, and pretty much, like, I think, like, out of the ones that got featured, 10 of them were non-Disney parks related, so that's pretty surprising. But also not that surprising at the same time. So pretty much play through our toy boxes, but also find your own style. Makes what makes you you. Okay, so I think and that pretty much wraps up this year's on the final tips and tricks video of this year. Be sure to check out next year for the next tips and tricks video in the future. And as Mickey would say,
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye-bye. See you real soon.